Yes, that makes sense, of course. And about the strategy, do you think that the strategy must be developed in-house, or is better making by an outsourcing company
Yeah.
like the consultant companies like Accenture and everything, or is
Well,
better
I
to
don't
make it
think you want to,
in-house?
I don't think you want to outsource strategy to somebody else. Now you can use consultants to help provide, specialized analysis and so on. But I think that when you start outsourcing responsibility for strategy, you have a major problem. Uh, and I mean, that strategy should be a primary
Okay.
responsibility of top management. And, top management can draw on lots of different sources for inspiration and insight, but, you can't be, if you're outsourcing your strategy, you should ask yourself what you're paying your top executives for.
Okay, and seeing your profile in the McCombs website, we see that you are expert in strategy decision, in strategy implementation, and in executive
Which is
leadership.
the
Which one
harder?
do you think that is the harder thing to do?
Well, the harder to study or the harder to do
Yes,
to practice? Well, I mean,
the harder,
implementation is very hard to
both.
study, and it's very hard to bring to fruition in a company. It's very complex. There's just lot more variables to deal with in implementation than there is in formulation. I just think strategy formulation is got a lot more uncertainty than does strategy. Excuse me, implementation has a lot more uncertainty than does strategy formulation. And actually building an organization that can pull off the strategy is a lot more difficult than coming up with the strategy.
Okay, and finally, what advice do you have for MBAs and graduating on 2013? What do you advise for them, especially if they are going to work in a strategy?
Well, I mean, I don't know if there aren't a lot of jobs in strategy that kind of label strategy. I think that if you are interested in the subject of strategy, you're best off recognizing that if strategy interests you, your interests are probably as a generalist. Okay, looking to go into is not in. You're not looking to go into strategy. You're looking to go into general management. And coming out of an MBA program, you're not going to be hired, most often, you're not going to be hired in a general management job. So what that suggests is, you can go into consulting and get jobs where you work across different companies on strategy issues, or you can be hired in a smaller company where more people have to do more different jobs. You can't specialize as much. So it's easier to become a generalist in a smaller company because they can't afford to specialize people as much. So I think that you'd be well served to try to first of all think of yourself as a generalist, and then look for positions where you have to wear multiple hats. Where you're not necessarily a finance person or a marketing person, but you've got to be you're responsible for going across kind of functional borders.
Okay, that's the question that you have for today. I don't know if you want to share something else with us that is very valuable for us.
I don't know if I have anything very valuable. So, you know, uh, if you think that it was useful, I'm glad to have spoken with you.
I don't know if you can send a greeting to the Universidad de los Andes in Bogota. That is the way that we want to share with our classmates
Well,
or
just
the
I
knowledge that
just
we
want to
have.
wish them luck and tell them to continue to work hard. If I spoke Spanish, I would say something, but the only words I know in Spanish are baño, cerveza, and then when I tease my Spanish colleagues on purpose, I say mucho nachos. All
Okay,
right,
that's very
all right,
okay. Thank you very
all
much,
right. Bye
Professor.
bye.
It's a pleasure. Thank
Yep.
you
Good
for
luck in your
everything.
studies. Bye
Okay,
bye.
okay, goodbye.